I know a lot of people have absolutely no clue when it comes to money, investing, and finance. I feel like I make pretty good finance choices at my age because I read books, I listen to podcasts, and I talk to older people and see how they manage their own money. So in this video, I'm just going to share you guys my experience, my strategies, and my mistakes, and you guys can start utilizing on all this to start setting yourself up financially for life. If you play your cards right. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and watch until the very end of this video. So with that said, let's get into it. So how did I get started on investing, you might ask? Just like you, I had zero idea about all this investing and all this money stuff. All I know is that at the end of the month, my bank account would always be empty. And I would always be confused and feeling lost and like question myself, where did I spend all my money on? Yeah, where the fuck did it all go? Now that was my first mistake, not knowing where my money would go. You should always be aware and know where your money is going, and make sure you don't spend extra money on unnecessary stuff like this dad bought sling bag that I saw online that I was tempted to buy, but I can't because I'm living a frugal life. And so I started the habit of budgeting and tracking all my expenses, every single transaction. Yes, even the 10 cents that I drop on the floor. I'm not even joking. After a few months, I started to have a bit of money in my bank account, and after that, my money would just sit there and do nothing. That was my second mistake, not investing. Just a quick lesson on compound interest that you can probably recall from your high school math class. $1 invested when you're 20 years old at 8% every year is going to become $32 when you're 65 years old. However, if you waited 10 years just to invest the same $1, it's going to become only $15. This means that your money is worth twice as much when you are in your 20s than 30. When I first saw this, it changed everything because it started to become a race where I have to invest as much as possible as soon as possible because that was my opportunity and I had to make use of the time. Like every time you go to a boba store and you buy a pearl milk tea that costs like $7, that's $220 worth of future money. After knowing that, I dived straight into buying my first share recommended to me by my dad's friend. It was a poultry processing company that turned chickens into nuggets. So it sounded pretty cool, so I just went with it. I know you shouldn't listen to anyone's advice, but then, hey, he was my dad's friend, so I thought he was pretty reliable, eh? But then, who knows, 5 months later, it crashed. I'm like, I then started buying books to learn the actual way of investing without taking on too much risk and also not losing any money. So just like Warren Buffett once said, rule number 1 of investing is never lose money, and rule number 2 is to never forget rule number 1. I was so excited to invest, and the first thing I did when I turned 18 was to get myself a brokerage account instead of some fancy birthday cake or like some fancy present, iPhone, all this, all this stuff. Yeah, I got myself a brokerage account so that I can start buying stonks. This time I make sure I only buy high quality businesses, which means I thoroughly go through their financial statements, making sure their income is growing, their debt is low, their operating cash flow is high, and as well as they have a moat. A moat which gives them a competitive advantage over other competitors so that they can keep their market share and as well as their profit. I've got some really interesting companies like Afterpay, an app that lets you pay for goods and services in 4 equal installments. And also I have Appen, which provides high quality AI data to Facebook and Google. And also travel agency company, funeral company, salmon company. So yeah, I basically wanted to own as many good companies as I can. So I ended up having like 15 to 20 companies in my portfolio. During the market crash, I realized something. I spent so much time on researching on all this company and just to end up having a similar return, like what the fuck is this joke? If I wanted to have a similar return to the market, I might as well just buy an index fund that tracks the S&P 500 performance, By doing so, I get to save on brokerage fee by having fewer trades. Also, I get to save time and energy on researching all this company. So after that, I decided to reconstruct my portfolio and then redefine my investing style. Besides that, I realized I can't fully understand and follow all the news of all 15 companies that I buy into. And also, we only have 24 hours in a day and we have better things to do. Like playing with our cats and watching 90 Days Fiancé. You are my best view. Having multiple companies that you don't fully understand actually impose a higher risk compared to owning just 1 to 5 stocks where you understand how the business operates and where the risks are, you know. It is also actually easier to follow, less risky, and also higher return in the long run. Here is what Mark Cuban and Warren Buffett has to say about diversification.
Diversification, that's for idiots, right? Because you can't diversify enough to know what you're doing.
We think diversification is, as practiced generally, makes very little sense for anyone that knows what they're doing. Diversification is a protection against ignorance.
Since then, I've reconstructed my portfolio into a more concentrated one. Right now, I only have 1 to 3 stocks in a portfolio. And also, when you're investing into this few companies, you really have to make sure that they are the best of the best businesses in the world. To be the best businesses in the world, the company has to be able to innovate and keep their competitors at bay, and also keep a high barrier of entry to the industry so that other new competitors cannot come in. Example, one of the best businesses in the world is actually Tesla. Last time I thought Tesla was a bubble stock and nobody wanted to invest, and then after I did my research, I realized that this is the real deal, bro. Tesla does not have the best balance sheet in the world, meaning that their financial health is average. However, their technology and the cars that they produce are incomparable to other competitors like GM, Ford, Toyota, Volkswagen, all this. They can't. Their electric vehicles are actually cheaper to own and maintain in the long run. They also have better performance. They also are 9 times safer than human drivers. Lastly, they have their own full self-driving AI chips. Imagine this, in the future when you're not using your car, you can let your car go outside to fetch people around to earn you extra money. That just blew my mind, dude. Yes, they say Tesla stock is a volatile one to own. However, my investment time horizon is at least 30 years. So short-term price fluctuation doesn't really concern me. Because in the long run, the value of the share will start going up as they start to expand and disrupting other industries. Remember, don't be a slut when it comes to investing, okay? Don't invest into every single company that you see on the news. Just like finding a girl to marry, okay? You don't find a girl on the street and just marry her. You have to make sure that she has the right quality and that she's the best one out of the world. And then you marry her for the rest of your life. Just like buying a company, okay? This is the same. Also, one tip for you guys, make sure when you buy a company, right, you have strong conviction in the company. What I mean by this is, you have done all your research and analysis on this company, that you are sure no matter what happens, this company is going to grow and prosper. That's how you hold on to the share and win the game, okay? Alright, so here's the story. When I bought Afterpay at $16, I sold it at $22 because I did not have a conviction in the company. Because I feel like any people can just come in to do what they are doing and just take over their market share, you know. However, my friend had conviction in the company and they hold on to it, and then right now the share is at $70. Imagine the gains that I missed out. Ah, damn it. We've come to the end of this episode. Thank you for your time to listen to some 19-year-old dude on YouTube talking about stock market, okay? If you guys find anything useful in this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and leave your questions down below if you have anything to ask. I'll be sure to reply every single one of you. Thank you.